Hello guys, in our last video we had just discussed about static and non-static in a simple Java program. We called the static method using the class name and we called non-static method using the object reference. So it is all about static and non-static. Static belong to class loader. Without creating the object you can access the static value, and for non-static you have to create the object to use. So today we'll discuss about data types and variables, and after that I will explain what is constructor, how the data type are taken inside that constructor arguments, and what is constructor, what is argument type constructor, and what is non-argument type constructor. So in Java, there are two types of data types. One is primitive and another one is non-primitive. So what is the difference between primitive data types and non-primitive data types? Primitive data types are content direct the value. It contain the value, but non-primitive is pointing to object. That means there is a concept called is Java is 100% object oriented? Because no, because it contains primitive data types, and that primitive data types are not object. There are eight types of primitive data types. One is byte, short, int, long, float, double, character, char, and boolean. So these are eight types of primitive data types which contains directly value instead of the address. So that's why Java is not 100% object oriented. And non-primitive data types, are arrays, string, and any class, any Java class you take, it is considered as non-primitive. So I'll just explain you what is the default value of byte is 0, short is 0, for int also default value is 0. These all are same, but the range is different, but the default value is 0. For long it is 0L. For float the default value is 0.0f. For double the default value is 0.0d. For character the default value is empty char. For boolean the default value is false. For string the default value is null. Any non-primitive data types the default value is null. So we'll see what is the default value. Suppose here I want to take a variable which is type int. So I'll explain you what is static variable, what is non-static variable. Here there is no static keyword, means it is a non-static variable with the data type int. That means it will store the integer type value. So I'll show you. I'll take it as static variable because without object we can directly access. In the last video I had explained what is static and non-static. Same things I will explain you here. See, if it is a static variable, directly I am able to access it inside the system.out.println without creating the object. So I'll just compile this class and I'll show you what the output. See, 10. That means if you want to if you want to use a integer type value, you have to specify the data type as int. So how it works, what is the default value, I'll just show you. If I will not take any value and I want to use it, again I have to compile this Java program, and you can see 0. That means if you are not specifying any value, Java itself will consider the default value as 0. So I took static variable. If I will take a non-static variable, how I can access it? If I am taking a non-static variable, I have to create the object. In my last video, I had explained how to access the non-static method. So here I'll explain. See the reference I used. Then only I am able to access it. Otherwise, I can't able to access. For that reason only, this is non-static variable and difference between static and non-static. I'll take static. Another one I will take int b. So if it is static, then directly I can use it without creating the object. So if I'll take the value, it will not make you the confusion. B equal to 10 I'll take, and I'll just compile it. See, the default value of A is 0, B is 10. To specify it correctly, we can concatenate for A value under A, B value under B. How it works, I will explain in my upcoming video, like operator. When we are concatenating a string or int with a string, then it will just concatenate. It will not add, and it will not give you the integer value. You can see here. I'll just compile it, and A0, B10. So this is the default value. So in the same way, if I'll take a boolean type, boolean C, I want to use that value. You see, it will give the default value as false. C false. So that means if you are not specifying any value, Java will consider as the default value. So these are the difference between static variable and non-static variable. In Java, there are three types of variable. One is static variable, non-static variable, and one is local variable. Local variable means inside a block it should present. Suppose if I'll take int x equal to 100, we can tell it is static or non-static. We can call it as local variable. That means that value is belongs to this block, this method. You can say inside the static method. If I'll write to show that value x, I'll just compile it. X100 A0 B10. For X100 there is no object I created, nothing. But how come it is able to accessible? Because it is local variable and the method is already static method, main method. So it is accessible. So non-static also I'll show you, like string. If I want to take it as a non-static variable, I'll take string s equal to Amit. String will be specified under double quote. Keep it remember. And I'll take another string. Suppose s1. I'll just declare it. We'll see whether the default value is printing as null or not. I'll just for s, I'll explain s, and we'll concatenate the value of s. We'll create the object. As I told, it is a non-static variable, so object reference is required. So a dot s, and one more I'll take S1, a dot S1. What is the default value will print and what is the S value will print, we'll see. I'll just compile it. See, for S it print Amit and for S1 it print null. That means if I am not specifying any value, Java will consider as null. I explain you it is null. For non-primitive data type it will consider as null. So this is all about primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Because of these primitive data types, Java is not 100% object oriented, because to make 100% object oriented, everything should be object. So for that reason only Java is not 100% object oriented.